Good morning. So I want to talk about the bugging in versus bugging out this morning. There's a lot of people talk about the subject. I've been in discussions on the subject with other people. A lot of channels talk about it. But I think a big thing out there is, I think more channels than less, let's say, focus more on the bugging out aspect. You know, me, I have a plan. I'm not bugging out unless I have no choice, right? That's my opinion. I guess this is going to depend on an individual basis, where you live, what your beliefs and feelings are about things. But to me, I'm not going to bug out unless I have no choice. And here's why. Number one, if I'm bugging in, I got shelter. I got food storage, ammunition storage, got defensive capabilities where I'm at. I have water storage. I have medical supplies. I have everything I need in my home. I'm going to bug in until I have to bug out. And I think plenty of people need to start putting a little more effort into just as much. I shouldn't say this. Let me rephrase this. You need to put just as much effort into bugging in as you do bugging out. You need to have your food storage, your water storage. You should have, prepping. Everybody talks about shit hits the fan prepping. You gotta prep for everything, not just shit hits the fan. You guys also should be prepping on the more practical stuff first. And I'm not saying I'm not a believer in shit hitting the fan. That shit hits the fan. I mean, it happens. It's gonna happen. But you need to be prepared for that, yes. But also be prepared for, disasters and stuff. If you got gas, have some electric heaters in your house. You run out of electric, you should have plenty of extra blankets and clothing and stuff to keep you warm. I mean, we all have clothing in our house, right? But extra warm thermal blankets and stuff like that. Plenty of extra food, plenty of water, backup generator, stuff like that. See, I got all that stuff at my current residence, and I got all that stuff in the residence where I'm moving to. And the residence that I'm moving to is a little more isolated, so there's really no way you're getting me out of there. I mean, chances of me bugging out, I am set up to bug out. Don't get me wrong. I've talked about bug out vehicles, bug out bags. But I'm not bugging out, especially out of the new residence in the middle of nowhere, unless I really have no choice. I mean, why would I want to leave all my supplies behind to take only what I can fit in my bug out vehicle or my person? Now, for me, I have a bug out bag set up. We've talked about this. I got bags set up for the family. But the chances of me strapping those on my back and hitting the pavement by foot are not likely. Am I prepared to do so? Abso-freaking-lutely. Is my family prepared to do so, trained to do so? Absolutely. But will I do that if I can avoid it? No. If I can avoid hitting the pavement with my foot, this is how it works for me. I'm bugging in. If I have to bug out, I'm hitting my bug out vehicle. I am not abandoning my bug out vehicle. Most likely I'm going to be going to a secondary bug out location, and I have a couple of them with people that I can trust, that I can rely on, where I can bug out to another location to bug in. The only way I'm not going to be in my vehicle or one of my bug out locations is this: there's absolutely positively life or death, no choice for me to hit the ground by foot. And that's it. And everybody should be prepared to hit the ground on foot. Don't get me wrong. That's very important. You should be prepared. But that shouldn't be your number one go-to solution, is to hit the ground by foot. Now, some of you that live in the cities, areas and stuff, you guys got to think about both ends of things. If you live in a big city and shit really hits the fan, there's an uprising, there's all kinds of panic and pandemonium going on, everybody's going fucking crazy, You might have one or two of them. You might say, hey, I can't get out of the city. I got no choice but to bug in. If that's the way you think, be prepared to bug in. Or some of you might say, I can't bug in. It's too crazy. I might get broken into. I might get robbed. I can't. You live in an apartment building. You only, you're 20 floors up. You might not be able to get out of there, in a safe manner. So your plan might be to hit the ground on foot. You might not be able to maneuver a vehicle out of those big cities. Where I live right now is bad enough, but if I lived in Manhattan Island, I use Manhattan as an example all the time because I'm in New York, so that's the closest major city like that to me. You lived in Manhattan Island or one of those places, good luck trying to maneuver a vehicle off Manhattan. It's not going to be that easy. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm talking about in a whole monster shit hits the fan scenario. Other than that, you could probably get out. But in a monster scenario like that, you're not going to get out on the vehicle, most likely, because it's not easy to get off that island. It's not easy to get out of New York City. So you might have to be hitting the ground on foot. Your plan might be to hit the ground on foot and seek additional shelter, additional place to bug out too. It might be in an abandoned building. It might be in the woods, depending on where you live. So yeah, you need to be prepared to do that. You should be trained to do that. You should have your bags ready with your ammunition, your clothing, everything set to go. Food, water, shelter, everything on from your bug out bags. However, there's something else. I've watched too many videos, and I know that I've hit this a couple times. I think Staff Sergeant BA has talked about this. Savage Survivors talked about this. Pounds equal pain, guys. I can't say that enough. And I don't care. Everybody, by the way, pounds equal pain not only on your body and your bug out bags, but also in your vehicle. If you planned out your trip and you got to look at your routes, and you live in a more rural area, you got to have extra gas with you, because what happens if you have miles and miles between you and the next gas station? You're going to go through gas, right? You can run out of gas. And the more weight in your vehicle, the more your gas mileage is going to decrease. The fewer miles you're going to go on that tank of gas. Well, the reason I bring this up is that you don't need to have, if you're bugging out, you don't need to have 25 shotguns in the back. You don't need to have you don't need to bring a household refrigerator in the back. Bugging out should just be that, bugging out. If you're bugging out, you should be bugging out to either go to another location or to come back home. That's my opinion. You might be bugging out permanently. In that case, you're just in your vehicle and you're looking for a new spot. But you should be looking for a new spot. You can't carry the entire house with you on your back, and you can't carry the entire house with you in your vehicle. Bring what you need to survive. The priorities. Make sure you got. I'm not picking on anybody that likes to carry a lot of gear, but let's say you're hitting on foot, for instance. You throw your bug out bag on. If your bug out bag is weighing 70 pounds, you're not going to go very far. I mean, you might be a really big dude. You might be 6'5", and 270 pounds of muscle, and you could hold that for a long time. That's terrific. Most of us can't. But, use your head when you're bugging out, whether it's your vehicle, on foot, whatever. Pack what you need to survive. Plan out how you plan to bug out. Don't just take a bag together. Don't just watch YouTube videos, guys, including my own channel. Don't just watch me or anybody else and say, okay, look what this guy did. That's great. That's exactly how I'm going to do it. Because what works for me is probably not going to work for you, and that's the truth. I don't hear enough people say that enough. What works for us might not work for you, the viewers. Right? You got to look. The reason a lot of us make this video is to point people in the right direction, lend our views, opinions, ideas, our setups, and how we do things. So to help other people. That's why I do a lot of this, is just to help other people. To help other people plan. To say, okay, that looks like a great idea. Let me modify that idea so it works for me and my family. Because the way for instance, I said this before, the way I have my med pack set up in my truck, my medical duffel bag, I have that set up so it works for me and my family and other people in my group per se that I would be linking up with if I need to help. And other people in my group, I know what they have, I know what skills they have, what kind of vehicles they have, I know where they live, and I know how what we have together can be put together to work well with each other's setup, work well with each other's setups. So one of my point is, don't just watch us and say, okay, I'm going to do it exactly like them. Hey, the way I do something might work great for you, but it might not. My medical bag might not work for you. You might have people with other already debilitating permanent injuries or diseases where you need to have a different setup in your med pack. You don't look at mine and say, hey, that works perfect for me if it doesn't. Look at your own individual situations. Look at the people in your group or family, however you want to look at your survival, crew, your crew, your group, your family, your militia, whatever. Make things work for what you need it to work for. Everything is done in prepping on an individual basis. There's some general rules that apply, but basically you want to make everything work for you, whether it's bugging in or bugging out, bug out vehicle. But I kind of went off a little track a little bit on this video. But my main point behind this is make sure you guys put just as much focus on the bugging in as you do bugging out. Don't fall victim to all the bug out videos on bug out bags, bug out vehicles, bugging out on foot, building tree houses, and all this other shit. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with building tree houses, but my point is, make sure you have some kind of emphasis on bugging in as well. because you should be bugging in before you bug out most of the time. You know, that's not for every situation. It's a situation by situation basis, but at least be prepared to bug in. Don't put all your eggs in one basket on bugging out, because you have a lot in your home that can keep you safe, sound, and help you survive, that you should try first, in my opinion. Or at least be prepared to stay in your home if you can. Put just as much emphasis on all those things. Alright? Hopefully this video maybe shine some light, might be helpful. This is probably something good for some new preppers to watch. Like I said many times, you know, everybody out there, do what works best for you, not works best for me, or works best for somebody else. Use us as a tool. Use those of us who make these videos, these survival videos in this community, those of us with a lot of years of experience doing this stuff, you know, use us as a tool to help guide you in the right direction. Don't use us. I can't speak for everybody. I'm speaking for myself here. I should say. Don't use YouTube as your sole form of what to do for yourselves. Use us as a tool. Use YouTube as a tool to help guide you in the right direction and make the right decisions and choices for prepping and surviving and bugging in and bugging out that work for you guys. You want to keep yourselves safe. You want to do things the right way that works best for your family, to keep your family safe, your friends safe, your pets safe. That's it, my main point. All right, everybody. Hope everybody had a great, happy, healthy Thanksgiving. Hope everybody has a nice, happy holiday season. My video is probably going to take a slowdown for a little bit with the holidays coming up and work. It's going to be a little busy for me, so I don't know how many I'm going to be getting out, so be patient. All right, everybody. Leave some comments below whether you agree or disagree with me. I always welcome controversy. You know, just keep it respectful. And, you know, that's it. Love you all. God bless. Stay safe, stay strong. It's a jungle out there, and it's going to become more of a jungle the way things are going. So be prepared. Love you all. Have a great day. God bless.